Brenda Miller. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Basking Ridge, New Jersey, and I go live every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time to share with you some of the things that I'm working on. And I'm very excited today because I'm going to share a fun fold that we are actually going to be doing a card like it at my Stampin' Stack next week, but also this particular card is going to be included in my bundle class. The bundle for that, if you purchase this month, you get the kit for free for next month, and that bundle is Birthday Celebration. So I have until tomorrow to order the bundle, and then I will send it to you, send you the kit. We'll make 5 cards. This is going to be one of them, and I think this might be the best one of the bunch, so I thought I would share it today. And whenever I learn a new fun fold, I like to make maximum use of it. So again, I'll be featuring it at my Stampin' Stack classes next week. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got. So come over here. So this is the card. Check it out. So we're using the Birthday Celebration bundle, and to be honest, we're only using the numbers. So if you look at the bundle itself, this is the stamp set that it comes with. So it has birthday, it has make a wish, it has a happy, so you can make that happy birthday should you want to do that. You can also add the, I don't even know what you call these things, but they, like for the first or the second or the third, look at that. Sit to the top, how you raise it up. If somebody knows what that's called, please let me know, because I used to know, but I don't remember what that is. Hooray. Anyway, it's got a banner that you can stamp, but check out the dies. The dies are the best part, as often is the case. We've got all the numbers. We even have a 6 and a 9, which sometimes you only get one or the other because you can flip it over, but this has both of them. It has like I call this the French 7, which has the line through it. I like to use, let's see, that's how that would look, 7. And it also has the ability to make banners. And we're going to be using that a lot, many of these pieces, if not all of them, at the class, the bundle class, so that when you get your bundle, you can actually put it to good use, see how all the pieces are used, etc. But for today, I'm going to share with you the fun fold card. I always like to include something fun, and look how this works. Isn't that neat? And it's using the designer series paper called Wildflower Birthday, and it was in the original suite that included the bundle, and is available. It's actually available in a couple of different ways. It's available as just the designer series paper, which includes a whole bunch of cutouts, like a lot of pre-colored cutouts, and these are, I have to admit, I've been hoarding them, and that's why I'm making sure that I'm going to use a lot of them in this class. I can't use it for my bigger classes, but for my smaller classes, I like to make use of them because they're just so beautiful. And actually, this features quite a few of the different patterns in the package. It also comes as one that's designed to be used maybe more for scrapbooking, so it has all of the DSP along with the cutouts, and then also it includes a sticker sheet of more additional cutouts that you can use on your scrapbook pages or cards even. So you'd have to take a look at that. Way too big for me to be showing at this point. And then the third way it's available is as a scrapbook workshop kit. And I actually did all 3 of the 2-page spreads in that kit. They were easy to follow, and they created these gorgeous pages that use all kinds of different elements and use them in creative ways. So anyway, that's how the Wildflower Birthday Designer Series paper is available. So let's get back to our card. So this fun fold, I don't even know if it has a name. I'm sure it does. Somebody can put that in the chat if you know what the name of this is. But I saw it first, Suzanne Netz. She's the one, Nans. Anyway, she had a tutorial for it, and I had to try it. And once I did, of course, I had to make several cards. So I'll show you the one for next week's class at the end here. So let's go ahead and make it so that you can see what you're in for. Now, for the classes, I always do the prep work. Okay, so you don't have to worry about that. I will do all of the scoring and folding for you, but in case you're interested, I have all the measurements in the notes for this video. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of, this is Pretty in Pink cardstock, and it is a standard card base. So it's 8.5 inches long, 5.5 inches wide. We're going to score it at 4 1/4 inches, which we always do. But then we're also going to score it at 7 3/4, which is all the way. Doesn't seem right, does it? 7 3/4. Duh. Okay, I got it. I'm confusing myself here. No need to do that when I can do that all by myself. Okay, so we've got those two score lines, and I'm using my paper trimmer with the scoring blade. And then you're going to have an additional piece of paper, and this is also Pretty in Pink. It is 6 1/4 inches wide and 5 inches tall, and we're going to score this one at 3 1/4, which is not in half. Just so you know, it is not in half. If you're wondering, how do I know which blade to use? This is the cutting blade. This is the scoring blade. The darker color, which is, this is how I remember it at least, the darker color cuts the paper, so it presses harder, and the scoring blade is a lighter touch, so it's a lighter color. So that's just a little tip. And then I'm also going to score both of these and one more time. And actually, we're going to be cutting them one more time. So we're going to be cutting from the score line to the edge, and on this smaller piece, we're going to do it at, let's see how I can best do this. I'm going to do it at 1/2 inch, which is what we need to do here. So if you look on the opposite side of where your main ruler is, there's a short ruler of 1 1/4 inches on the, in this case, the right-hand side. Sometimes I work with it upside down, but people tell me this is the way that they do it, so I'm trying to do the right thing and do it the way most people do it. So I'm going to line it up, though, at the 1/2 inch mark over here. And then I'm going to take my scoring blade, as I mentioned, and I'm just going to, my cutting blade, as I just mentioned, so the darker one, and I'm going to just cut down to that score line, which is very hard to see for you, but it is there. You can see I've cut it to the score line, and then I'm also going to just trim it off. So I'm just going to come back here and just cut that off. And you'll see when we fold it, it makes that fold that we need for our card, okay? And that just doesn't seem right either. No. Okay, well, close enough. Always something. I'm going from memory. I should never do that, right? Okay, and so now for this one, we are also going to be cutting from the edge to the score line. And this one we're going to do, this one actually is at, this one's supposed to be a 1/2 inch. I'm sorry. I always did this one first. So I'm going to go cut down to the score line. I'm going to cut this off. All the proper instructions are in the notes, I promise. I typed them up several times because it's also on my blog. And this one is actually supposed to be 3/4 of an inch. So you can see I need to do 1 more 1/4 of an inch. And fortunately, I can cut more. I can't cut less. So thankfully I did that in the right order. And you can see I'm just lining it up with the groove there to get that cut. So this is the hardest part. And as I said, when you take the class, you don't need to worry about that. It's done for you. And that is even not perfect. So you can also just do this with your scissors. Ta-da! Isn't that amazing? Okay, much better. Here we go. So now we can assemble our card. And let me show you how we do that. This is what you really need to know. So the way that this card goes is you are folding it. Where is my scoring ball? Right here. All right, so we're folding it on that initial score line, and then this one, the smaller one, we're going to fold back. Okay. All right. And once we've done that, we're going, as you saw, we folded this one. And I may not have done quite the right amount there. Let me see. I think this is supposed to be a little more than that. So I'm just going to do one more little cut. Sorry. Because when I prepared this, I did not do this at 6 1/4, evidently. No, I did. Well, I'm going to take off that little bit. Seems to be in the way. Okay, maybe I was imagining. We'll see. Anyway, this is to the dimensions in the instructions. Okay, so now we're going to put these together. And the way we're going to do that, see, something's not right here. This is too tall. You know what I probably did? I probably scored on the wrong one. Let me take one that is correct that I prepared earlier. Voila, the magic of television. Here we go. So this is how that looks, and this folded back. So we're going to take some tear and tape. Now you want something strong. You could use wet adhesive. I just don't have the patience for that. I love tear and tape, and of course this one's all out. I just seem to be having bad luck. I guess I should throw this away. It might be the same roll that I keep going back to. This happens to be a little bit thinner than our usual tear and tape. It was probably included in a paper pumpkin kit, but I want to make sure that it is adhered really well at the edge. So you can see I'm putting it right here at the edge, and true to the name, you just tear it off. Okay, you can use scissors if you want, but there we have that. So let me just give that a good fold, and I will use my Take Your Pick tool, which I had just a minute ago. You know, you would think that I don't prepare, but I actually spend a lot of time preparing. Okay, we're going to use my fingernail at the moment, which is not the best, but it works. And we're going to take the piece of Pretty in Pink cardstock and just put it up against it. Now, if you wanted to, you could also adhere it a little bit further, but this is going to be strong enough. And you'll see that this is the back side, and nobody's going to see that. Although if they turn the card over, they will. But I don't know about you, but I don't worry about that. You know, it doesn't look so terrible anyway. So that is the card base, right? So we're just going to decorate it. So this does use a lot of designer series paper, or you could use cardstock. When we do our card next week, some of it will be cardstock. And so this is one of the sheets. You can see on the back of this sheet is another one of the, so this is one side, and the flip side has all these little rectangles that you can cut out and use on your cards and your scrapbook pages, which are really fun, but we're using this side today. And then we need some place to write, so we're going to put it on this inside panel. And again, all the measurements are available in the documentation. So this one is, this is 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. This one is the usual card inside size, which is 4 by 5 1/4. This one is the same as this, and we're going to put that here. So you can see you're getting to see almost all of the different patterns in the designer series paper. Now you could put this Pretty in Pink side up. That would be pretty as well. I love, love, love this design with all the gold foiling on it. And then this one actually is my favorite. Look at that, with all the little birthday cakes. This is the paper that I have the least of because I've already used it several times. And I'll be honest, I'm working with 5 packages of this designer series paper because we've done so many projects with it. And so I'm trying to make maximum use of all the pieces that I have left. And that's how I decided what goes with what. But the nice thing is that they all go together, right? Okay, so now we've got all of our designer series paper adhered. What a fun card. So next we're going to take, this is just one of the die cuts. Each big sheet of die cuts, you get 2 sheets of the die cuts. Each one has 2 of these nice big cakes. The other one is in shades of the orange with the peach pie. But we're going to use the pink one And I'm hoping I have enough for everybody for the class. And I'm just going to adhere it with some dimensionals to the card front. Now you could add anything and everything that you want. You could further decorate all these little inside pieces and outside pieces. I chose not to just because, there's kind of a lot going on here, and I don't want to overwhelm anyone. But then, I wanted to add some personalization. So I'm making this card a 30th birthday card. My middle son is 30, so I've already missed his birthday, plus he's not a girl. His wife already just turned 30 as well, so somebody else will get this card. Probably not appropriate really for a guy, but the thought would be there. But there are plenty of his friends that I'm sure I will have an opportunity to give to. I've had to make quite a few 30th birthday cards, whoopsie, as well as 60th birthday cards. So you can tell that I die cut this out of just some gold foil paper. If you wanted to, you could use some really teeny tiny foam pieces to adhere it, but that seems like a lot of work. I'm just using little teeny tiny dots of the wet adhesive. You can see how I'm really trying to keep it just the littlest bit. I don't want it to be sticky. I don't want it to seep through. And I'll put this on. Now, what you could also do is make a tag. And in hindsight, I think maybe I will add something to, I could either stamp on the blank piece, the white piece. Oh, I didn't show you what I wanted to show you with this white piece. So you could stamp here, or I might make a little tag and put it in here and that says happy birthday. Oops, I'm going to try to do that, I think. But this paper, I just wanted to point out that I have started using the Willow White 12 by 12 paper that we are now offering. It is designed, it's actually from close to my heart, and we brought it over. It is slightly lighter weight than our regular basic white, but it comes with 12 sheets in a package, and the package is $10. And when I did the math, I do a lot of this size pieces of white paper. So anytime I do that, I'm going to be using the Whisper White because it's a little bit more cost effective for me. Plus, I have to cut it fewer times. So it makes it a little bit easier. For my normal, extra pieces, I probably will still use our regular basic white, but that Whisper White I'm finding to be a little more cost effective. So I did want to talk about that. But anyway, this is our card. So I have the number 30. You could put any number. You could even get to 3 digits because thankfully in this day and age, the most you would have is a 1 over here, and you could squeeze all that in onto your cake. Who knows if we get to the 200s, might have to design another another cake, but that would work for now. So if you are interested in making this exact card, you're going to want to consider joining my class for next month, which is the birthday celebration bundle. I'll put a link in the description for that stamp set. It's also going to be on my blog, as well as if you want to make a card like this, and I forgot to show you that, so let's pop back over to my desktop and show you the one we're going to make next week. Now, I didn't quite have enough of this kind of cardstock, even though this is beautiful, not enough of the designer series paper to do a class with 20 people, which is usually what I aim for. So I had a little bit more of this Mediterranean something paper, and I thought, it's still summer. Isn't this great for just a very fun card? It could be for anything, and it also uses the stamp set that I wanted to use. And this is encircled something, and it actually coordinates with a new punch that we have that is 1 7/8 inches. The background is 2 inches. So anyway, that is the card that we will be making in class. And I keep saying it's next week, but actually it's the Zoom card class that we're going to make this at, which is at the end of August. I apologize for that. It's too hard to teach a class like this when I do stations at my Stampin' Up. So anyway, that's the reasoning behind that. So, but if you're interested in that, take a look at my newsletter. You can sign up for that on my website, on my blog. If you have any questions, just let me know. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. Bye-bye.